let us look at question number 33. Shizhe carried out the following steps for her science project. This is an experimental type of question. So let us find out what is happening in this experiment. Step 1. She put the same type and amount of soil into 5 similar pots. Step 2. She planted 5 soybean seedlings in each pot. And step 3. She placed the pots in the same area in her garden. And number 4. She watered each pot with the same amount of water each day. So do take note that she has 5 setups in this experiment, and so far we know that she has placed the same amount of soil, the same number of seedlings, which is the 5 soybean seedlings, and she placed them in the same area or location, which means all the seedlings would receive the same amount of sunlight, and she also watered them with the same amount of water. So what is the thing that she changed for each of the setup, and what is she testing for? Let's continue reading. Shizhe added different amount of fertilizers to each of the pots daily. She then measured and recorded the height of the seedlings in each pot on the 10th day. So she recorded some results on this table here. What is the aim of this experiment? Remember, in every experiment there is an aim, which means this person here wants to find out something. And for every experiment there would be a changed variable and a measured variable. The changed variable is what we are testing for, and this is the variable that can be changed. In this case, the only variable that was changed for each setup would be the amount of fertilizers. And is she supposed to change any other variables? No. In order for a fair experiment to be conducted, there can only be one changed variable. Every other variables have to be kept constant. Now let us discuss about the measured variable. The measured variable is what we call our results, and this is the variable that we need to measure to get our results. And over here it says that she measured and recorded the height of the seedlings in each pot. Therefore, the measured variable would be the height of the seedlings. So let's say if the question asked us to write out the aim of the experiment, I would advise my students to use this standard template structure when answering aim of the experiment questions. The aim of the experiment is to find out how the changed variable affects the measured variable. So in this case, she wants to find out how the amount of fertilizer given per day would affect the height of the seedlings in each pot. Now let us look at the first part. What was the changed variable in Shizhe's experiment? As we have already discussed, the changed variable would be the amount of fertilizers given to each pot per day. So here is the answer. The changed variable would be the amount of fertilizer given to the seedlings per day. Let us look at part B now. Using the table above, state the relationship between the average height of seedlings in each pot and the amount of fertilizers given per day. Whenever we see the word relationship in a question, just like this question here, I advise my students to box up 2 important keywords. Number 1, between, and number 2, and. And they are to underline the words after the boxes. Just like this. As we have already identified earlier, and from the table here, we can see that the amount of fertilizer given per day would be the changed variable of this experiment, and the average height of seedlings in each pot would be the measured variable. Even in this question here, we can identify what is the changed variable and the measured variable. The average height of seedlings in each pot would be the measured variable, and the amount of fertilizers given per day would be the changed variable. Now, the template structure to answering a relationship type of question like this would be as something increases or decreases, something else would increase or decrease. So the first blank would always be the changed variable, and the second blank would be the measured variable. This is because the changed variable is the one affecting the measured variable. Now let us look at the table, because it is the information from the table that would help us to find out whether there is an increasing trend or decreasing trend. Now, as the amount of fertilizers given per day increases, what happens to the height of the seedling? At first, as the amount of fertilizers increases, the height of the seedling also increases. However, does it increase all the way? No, as the amount of fertilizer increases from 30 onwards, the height of the seedling started to decrease. So in this experiment, there are actually two trends. First, the height of the seedlings increased. Then, as more fertilizers are added, the height of the seedlings started to decrease. So what I tell my students is that when they see two trends like this, they are to write two sentences. And we would need to identify when is the change of trend taking place. In this case, it happens after 30 ml of fertilizers, which means the first sentence would be, as the change variable, which is the amount of fertilizers given per day, increases from 10 ml to 30 ml, the measured variable, which is the average height of seedlings in each pot, increases. So that is the first sentence. The second sentence would be, as the amount of fertilizers given per day, which is the change variable, increases from 30 to 50 ml, the average height of the seedlings in each pot started to decrease. So here is the answer. As the amount of fertilizer given per day increases from 10 ml to 30 ml, the average height of the seedlings in each pot increases. As the amount of fertilizers given per day increases from 30 ml to 50 ml, the average height of the seedlings in each pot decreases. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my discussion, please click on the subscribe button below. And if you'd like to find out more about my analysis of other questions in this paper, do click on the videos on the right. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!